I'm Myke Shrews.
And I'm Tivis.
And you're listening to
The Munster Cast.
episode 60, boy. Welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast.
What's that?
What was that?
What was that intro?
I had nowhere to go with it. Welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters. I'm, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend, Tivis. So, please, Tivis, tell everybody in the world out there, in the stratosphere of the Munsterverse, how have you been, dude?
I've been fine. Not as busy as you have. Getting ready for Easter tomorrow, which everyone listening, I hope you had a good Easter. If you celebrate that. And if you haven't noticed, that means that our backlog is now up to date. So if we get anything, you're going to hear about it. We do plan on going forward again. We planned ahead because we knew Myke was going to be very busy here. And we got some more busyness coming up in this year. So we will probably pull ahead again at some point. But for now, we're caught up.
We are caught up with you guys. I'm going through it real quick and checking the emails this morning, make sure there's no one that needed something shouted out today. Don't see anything except for a bunch of spam mail today. All right.
Are they trying to sell us Depends again?
That or I think they want me to send money to an Arabian prince or something.
Why is that the most prominent email, is selling Depends?
I have no idea. No clue, man. I am lost about it as well. Anyways, real quick, you guys can find the MUNSTERCAST on all social media platforms. That is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, you can check out our pretty ugly faces over on the YouTube channel at youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. And as far as emails go, you can also email us at themunstercast@outlook.com. Let us know your Munster stories. Let us know anything besides about Depends. And if you want to get on the show, book us, book on to there, anything like that, guys, just let us know, and you can reach out to us there. Well, you look like you gotta say something.
We have this stuff in a set list, and I keep changing it depending on how you say it, and you never follow the list.
What can I say? I'm a rebel. I'm not looking at the list. Leave me alone. All right. You can also visit TheMunsterCast.com. Over there, you can check out all of our content, guys. That is everything in one place. And there's also a little coffee cup, I believe, on the left-hand side of the screen, where you can just click that and donate if you want to donate to the MUNSTERCAST show as a whole. Or you can swing on over to the right side of your screen on the website of themunstercast.com and click the mic icon, the little microphone icon there, and leave us a voicemail, which we can put onto the show if you request it, or we can just listen to it and hear from you guys, the fans out there. So it's always a great function and tool that I've actually enjoyed. We've had a couple of little messages and stuff. So definitely they just didn't want them on the air. So yeah,
you don't have to be if you don't want to be. We're not going to force anyone's voice.
Right. All right, what else do we got, Tivis? We gotta go to themunstercast.com/merch shop, which you can also just go to themunstercast.com and click store or whatever it's called up there, and you can swing on over, purchase one of these awesome shirts that me and Tivis are both wearing. Tivis, I think that shirt is actually discontinued now.
Probably, yeah.
I don't think that we're selling that one anymore since we updated the logo, but yeah, it might still be there.
This is the quality you can expect.
Yep. So definitely pick up your MUNSTERCAST shirts or your Munsters just in general shirts there before we start pulling some of them and putting new designs up, because I don't want like 150 designs set up, at one time. So I will end up pulling some here and there as we move forward. And then what else can they expect from us, Tivis?
Well, we do have a Patreon, which, as always, mostly just a tip jar. Um, we are doing a little incentive with getting access to our Discord, where you can chat with us and among other Munster fans, where there's people aren't going crazy, and we got a name to shout out, don't we? You got it ready?
For what?
Supporting us.
Let's see here. I am looking on here because a lot of stuff. Oh yes, we have Frank McGowan. I hope I'm saying your last name right, Frank. I'm sorry if I'm not, and I've talked to you a lot too.
Yeah, great friend of the show.
He joined the I Like Zombo because. So definitely thank you for that, Frank, and we appreciate it. We appreciate everybody out there too that joins up and checks it out. If you go over to the Discord or the Patreon, patreon.com/the MUNSTERCAST, and you can hit the I Like Zombo because for tier, sorry, I'm losing my words, or the second tier is Lester's next big investment, and that is how that you guys get a hold of the Discord and everything like that. And what's on our Discord, Tivis? Did you already say that?
No, you can watch the Munsters today along with us. Myke puts them up a week in advance before we talk about them, because again, if you haven't heard me say this by now, we have not found any other way to do it that won't get us in trouble with someone. So this is kind of just what we have to do for now.
Yes.
But you can watch that, then hear us talk about it, and have a great time.
Yeah.
Know what the hell we're talking about.
We drop them every week, right? The week before we are going to talk about it. So like on Monday, when the episode comes out, the next episode will drop onto our Discord, so you guys can check it out there. I keep getting a bunch of messages asking me where to get it and everything, and that's the best option I got for you guys. I don't, that's all I got.
Yeah.
So, and then you can also swing on over to your podcast service of choice and leave us a review, guys. Definitely check those reviews, written reviews, star reviews, whatever. I know every podcast service is different, but definitely do that. And you can also do it on YouTube by just leaving us a comment in the comment section and all that. So we definitely
Liking
enjoy
the
reading
video.
those. Yeah, like
all
the
that
video.
stuff increases engagement, pushes our videos for more people can see.
Yep.
Share it around, whatever. Tell a friend, tell an enemy if you don't like us. Force them to listen to our voices.
Yeah, definitely do that. And we have another incentive coming up. It is not officially released yet. I just wanted to share with everybody that we have about 10 or 15 of these awesome keychains, if you're watching the video, of the Munster Cast logo. And we're going to be offering these as an incentive in some fashion. I'm not sure exactly how we will be doing it. So just keep a lookout on our social media for that stuff, and we'll let you guys know. So they're really cool keychains, dude. I love it. So,
and how do they get those?
we're still figuring that one out. We're still gonna figure
Okay.
that one out. Yeah. That's why I said keep listening or keep an eye on social media
Gotcha.
so we can figure out how we're gonna give those out and stuff. So incentivize it.
And the last thing we have is you have 2 weeks left to vote in the Rondo Awards.
Oh my god. Yes, definitely. I've actually gotten several messages from people on, I believe, Twitter. It was your Twitter or Facebook, about people telling me that they went and voted for this and that they actually voted for the Munster Cast as the podcast. So definitely thank
That's
you guys
awesome.
out there. We really appreciate that. We definitely appreciate being voted for regardless if we deserve it or not. So
we don't, but
so definitely, if you have not gone and voted yet, though, guys, definitely go and swing on over and vote for whatever it is that you would like. And again, we would appreciate a vote for us. But if not, vote for whatever podcast is on there that you actually do want to vote for. There's several of them on there.
And don't forget, while you're there, vote for Rob Zombie's Munsters. Let's show Universal the love so that they can get us more
Munsters
anything.
Content. Yeah. I mean, if the movie starts getting some awards, some more recognition and stuff, I mean, NECA's doing figures for it, which I got something on that. But NECA's like, all this recognition should help Universal be like, okay, so maybe, we should do a TV show now or an animated show, anything, let's do something. And hopefully if they do move
let's
forward,
release Munsters today for everyone to watch.
Right.
Finally.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully if Universal does move forward with anything, they still keep in contact with Rob Zombie to do stuff, because it would suck that he like brings it back for a lot of people and then like get screwed over and not get to touch it again. I would be pissed myself, but who knows? Anything else?
I was gonna say, speaking of the NECA toys, it's awesome to see Daniel Roebuck just so giddy with all the stuff coming out. Like, such a nice guy.
Dude, it's pissed me off too, because I love Dan, and he keeps posting all these pictures of it, and I go to Target or Walmart or any of the toy shops, and I'm like, I cannot find these toys locally. It's pissing me off. Like, I just want to be able to physically see it and touch it before I buy it. I'm like one of those people. So like Amazon is not my go-to for action figures. Like, if people can see, I love action figures, but I just don't do the whole Amazon thing for them. I want to actually physically buy them. So hopefully I get some locally in town, or something happens where people can find them for me.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, I think that's it. I think that's all we got, guys.
Yep.
That's it. The end of the show. All right. Catch you next week. So we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird. No. All right. So let's dive on into the show, dude.
What's this episode called, Mike?
This episode is called Say Ah. Ah. Yes. Say ah. All right. So where do we want to start here? From the beginning. We open up with the Munsters.
Your synopsis.
Oh shit. I totally forgot that.
It's been a while, folks.
All right. So synopsis. Again, here's off the cuff synopsis. All right. So let's do a drunk history synopsis.
Oh boy, here we go.
So like, there's this day, and then Eddie has like this thing in his throat where it's scratchy, and he doesn't want to go to school. So, his mom makes Herman take him to the hospital. Herman goes to the hospital with Eddie, and in perfect Herman fashion, what do they want to do? They want to experiment on Herman, and everything goes into chaos and awry. And yeah, let's dive on into this.
I was just gonna start timing you.
Like,
come
on,
teenager there for a bit. So yeah, this is season 1, episode 11 of Munsters Today, episode 81 of Munsters overall. This aired December 17th. What? I
want to say, it's just in case people don't watch the video or see, I was purposefully exaggerating like that. Like, come on, like,
This episode aired December. I'm not going to give you any leeway. December 17th, 1988. Written by Brian Joseph. This is the second of his 8 episodes. We last saw him with Flyweight Champion of the World. Okay. This was directed by Doug Rogers. This is his second of 3 episodes. We previously saw his work with Herman the Astronaut. We have 2 people in the cast, which I call BS on because I definitely saw more people on screen. But the first one is David Breyer as Dr. Dugan. Sadly, he passed away 2001 at the age of 68. His first credit is in Fabulous Light as Faubus. Faubus. How do you pronounce that?
I have to see it. Faubus.
Faubus in Little House on the Prairie in 1975. He was Vernon Bales in the 1976 Marty Hartman. I'm just gonna do a quick live viewing of his stuff because there's a bunch. He's got so many. Like,
yeah,
he's got 82 projects to his name. So he was a 2-episode. Everyone loves Raymond, Seinfeld,
ER, Fantasy
Beverly
Island, The Man with Two Brains. That's a great movie, by the way, people.
Yeah. So, like, there was just so much I couldn't narrow it down. So it's once again another fantastic actor with a huge list of credits to his name that I highly recommend everyone go check out. And the next one we have is Gene Castle as the patient. Now, he only has 9 acting credits. This is the last acting role that he did according to IMDb. So
it's because they killed him in this.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got some interesting stuff to his name, but nothing really jumping out to me. He was the lead zombie dancer in Hysterical.
Yeah, there was nothing jumping out when I looked at him.
No.
Because this week I did look. I was like, who's in this? Because like you said, they did show more people, I felt. Right? Did we get more actors in this? Or was it just those two?
I feel like there was a couple more. Not as much as Professor Grandpa, but I feel like there was at least one person left off.
I don't see. No, I think that's it. I think they're the only two
I
guests.
stand corrected. I watched this like 2 weeks ago, so
they mention a bunch of people, but they never show those people.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. And we'll get into that with our recap. So you were saying we open with the family?
We open with the family sitting at the table, and what is it? Lily comes out, and what does she have? She has poison ivy hash for dinner or breakfast. I'm not sure if this is dinner or breakfast.
I can never tell with this family.
The
other show, the original show, we had the breakfast table and the dining table. This one, we just have table.
Yeah. And it's hard to tell because of the. Yeah, I don't know. What it was, breakfast or dinner. They say something about earthworm brains. I don't remember what it was in reference to because my dumb self just literally wrote the note.
Grandpa is happy, like real happy over this poison ivy hash because he never would have recognized it. This stuff has a real bite to it. Instead of her usual toadstool nectar, she added half a cup of earthworm brains, and Herman's mouth falls open. It's brilliant.
Genius, woman, genius.
Herman goes, they say beautiful women can't cook. Who says that, Herman?
No. He said, and they say beautiful women can't cook. And then he gives her a kiss. The way you said it, it was kind of like mean. He was saying it as a compliment, as in like, oh, you're so beautiful and you know how to cook.
Yeah, but who says that?
Double hitting. I mean, lots of men
is that actually a saying?
Yeah, men. A lot of people used to say that. They're like, if she's good looking, she can't cook, or stupid shit like that.
Okay.
I personally, I married a Mexican, so I was good either way. Good looks and she can cook. So her mom made sure she could cook because that's part of their culture. You take care of your man.
Yeah, we both cook at our. So,
I mean, I cook too. I'm not saying.
no,
I'm
I'm
just
just
saying
saying
that was
we're
how
both
she was
well,
raised.
I wouldn't say we're both good at it. We're both mediocre. We can make food that tastes good to us.
Yeah. It depends. If you give me a good burger or a sandwich, I can
Oh, dude,
smash it.
I'm
Like I
totally
can
grilling
make
today.
that.
It's finally getting warm here in the north east of America, and I'm
Yeah.
going to enjoy it.
Or like lasagna, but I spend like $100 making homemade lasagna, dude. Just on cheeses. Anyways.
It's been a while before I had lasagna. All right.
Sorry, guys.
Why are you doing this to me, man? I haven't eaten today.
Neither have I. I have snacks. Just in case I get hungry.
Let's see. Lily asked Marilyn if she would like her to make up some dragonfly sandwiches for her friends later, but Marilyn says, I think they would prefer peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Marilyn is actively like protesting against the family during this show, and I'm here for it. And then
she's a lot more self-aware that everyone else is completely different in this one, I think. So it's pretty good to see that she's like, yeah, my friends will just eat what I make them from PB&J. Why do the Munsters have peanut butter and jelly? Never hear them talk about eating peanut butter and jelly.
I assume they have it for Maryland.
Peanut butter and Batch yogurt, maybe.
Oh, no.
It took a second for that to register in your brain.
Peanut butter and yogurt. Oh,
oh my gosh, people, if you are not watching the video, you should have watched the realization in Tivis's brain on screen. It was perfect.
Oh, no.
Oh. All right.
Yeah. Marilyn gets up to go make the sandwiches, and so Lily turns to Eddie and addresses that he hasn't touched his food. His eyes shoot open like he's terrified of being noticed right now. And it was a weird reaction for Marston to do.
I thought in this interaction, because we just had Marilyn be kind of like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. I thought it was gonna be an episode where it was like, well, Eddie's gonna be that way too, and they're just gonna kind of like break off from the family a little bit and be like, you guys are freaking weird, man. Even though I'm trying to howl every 5 seconds.
Lily's like, I thought this was was a favorite of yours, and he begins telling her he likes it and tries to howl, but his voice like fails him.
Yeah,
she's worried he has another sore throat, but he tells her it's nothing. Grandpa tells him to bite his tongue. If it's not for throats, people wouldn't have necks. Very helpful, Grandpa. Thank you. It's the
Grandpa's. So in the original series, how Al Lewis was very. Grandpa was a serial killer. Okay, in the original series.
Yeah.
In this one, I feel this guy is more of like a masochist. Like, especially after this episode, we'll get into it, but like the way that he says these things is kind of reminding me more of like, okay, yeah, Grandpa would definitely say something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the third sore throat Eddie has had in a month. It's time to call Dr. Cutter. And at this point, I'm getting excited. I'm like, are we finally going to meet Dr. Cutter? Because it's the second time he's come up after being a throwaway line when Grandpa's feeling old in Professor Grandpa. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
It's old Dr. Cutter, right? Old Dr. Cutter.
Well, he's referred to that later, but we got, which I have contention with that. Herman says he better do more than look at it. He better cure it, which, yeah, that's okay. Thank you, Herman. Grandpa calls him a medical genius and a medical question mark. The like the head turn and evil eye that Herman gives Grandpa in the scene is just amazing. I absolutely love it. Eddie begins asking if they can wait until Monday. Lily sees this plan of missing school and tells him, no, go clean your ears. You're going. Eddie is bummed. He's sick on a weekend, but I've been there as a kid. I hated getting sick whenever there wasn't school.
Mm-hmm.
Any chance I could get out of it. Like for a long time, I came up with a stomach issue and that I pretended I had until my mom put me on pills. And now I'm pretty sure I have a stomach issue.
Just destroyed your stomach lining.
Yeah, I don't know why I took the pills. I should have just flushed them. I was an idiot. But
because you were told to by an older person.
Yeah, I didn't want to make my mom mad at me for lying so much. Lily tells him, but I used to when I was in junior high, we would get detention for failing to do homework assignments, and I would forge her signature to get out of detention.
You literally just described grooming, by the way.
What? Not wanting to upset?
You did it because you didn't want to upset your peer, your adult in your life.
My parent?
Your parent. She was grooming you to take a shitload of pills, and you fell for it.
I just didn't want to get in trouble.
Anyways, so then we go off to the hospital.
Oh, not yet. Yeah. Let's see. Lily tells Eddie again to get moving and brush his fangs while he's up there. He really doesn't want to, but Herman tells him if he wants long, sharp teeth like his teeth. When he gets older, he needs to listen to his mom. And to make sure you use the wire brush that I picked up for you at the hardware store. Ow.
Yeah.
Just no words for that one. Just ow. Yeah, now, Grandpa asks how Eddie is getting to the doctors, and Lily says she can't take him because she promised to help Marilyn with her friends. So Herman will have to do it in the hearse. Herman is not pleased as he plans to install a new supercharger in it. Why, you may ask? Because he's going to drive in the big motocross next week. Introduce plot B.
Which, I mean, fits because didn't he... Oh, no, that was Grandpa that did the racing before, right?
Well, Herman lost the car, but he loved the racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he begins making engine noises and shifting gears as some cool 80s mix of the theme song starts playing, and we transition to the doctor, who appears to be the new incarnation of Dr. Dudley.
I thought so at first, but as the episode progresses, we realize he's not. He's just freaking psycho.
Yeah, so he's wandering around his office looking for his glasses because he's blind. And I think this is Dr. Cutter at first. I'm like, oh wow, they really enjoy blind doctors. They're like, Herman walks in and he says he's looking for Dr. Cutter, and this is when you realize, oh no, the blind man said he's like, where's old Dr. Cutter? And this guy says, oh, I'm young Dr. Dugan. No, you're not. How old is Dr. Cutter?
Yeah.
Oops, just bumped the mic. Yeah, Dugan turns around and immediately begins treating Herman for something. Herman asks what he wants Eddie to do, and Dugan's just like, go wait in the reception area. Herman's like, well, that's a weird way to do an examination.
He's like, you want me out there? It's like, yeah, and shut the door. Like, okay.
I started getting the way this guy was looking at Herman. I'm getting the vibes that he's about to dissect him, and I was not wrong.
No. This episode had lots of hints of the season 2 Operation Herman episode from the original, where Herman goes to visit Eddie and then he ends up on the operating table for some freaking reason.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting those kind of vibes. I was like, oh geez, oh no. Yeah, but Dr. Dugan's there. He's like looking at Herman, trying to figure out like what's wrong with him. And he's like, so how long has your epidermis been this way? He's like, wait, you can see it?
Yeah.
And then Herman eventually stands up and is like looking at his butt. Like he's like, I thought Lily seamed it up or whatever. I'm like, oh geez.
And the way the doctor goes about this too, he tricks Herman because he's like, I'm no professional, but this is a weird way to examine patients. Or isn't the best way easier to examine a patient if they're in the room? And Dugan's like, "What is your kid sick too?" And Herman's like, "Well, no, he's the whole. What do you mean too?" Yeah. I enjoyed this interaction between Dugan and Herman here.
And then they do the whole hammer test thing. What is that for? Reflex
Yes.
test.
Yeah, he taps he taps Herman's right knee and his left leg jerks. Then he taps the left knee and his left arm salutes. Going back to Herman's military days,
He was about to do something to his face. I really wanted to see what happened if he did something there.
Herman finally calls Eddie in so the doctor can get on with why they're actually there. And the doctor finally takes notice of Eddie after Herman points out that his son can't howl due to a sore throat. The doctor immediately turns around and he's like, he asks him some simple questions, about how the throat feels and stuff, and then gives him mustard wrap, which here's the thing I didn't know about, so I had to look it up, and there's a reason I don't know about. Mustard plaster is an outdated conventional medical treatment. Once they realize it left, or if left touching skin for too long, it caused first-degree burns, and the vapors caused nausea. There's some idiots out there who still use this as a home remedy because they can't get on with the times. Seriously, don't do this to your child if you care about them.
So what is it though? Is it like actually like mustard?
It's like the same stuff you would use. I believe I need to look it up again to be sure, but I believe it's the same crap you use to put like wallpaper.
Okay, so yeah, that would burn.
Yeah,
well, you said plaster. Any plaster on your skin is going to end up burning your skin, especially as it cures.
It is a oh boy, what is this word? Poultice.
Send it to me.
Okay. It's basically the mustard seed powder.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like spread on a dressing and
poultice.
Yeah. But yeah, don't do that. There's a reason that I never heard about it in my life, and that's because they realized it was stupid to do and got rid of it. That's the best thing about the medical field is they learn better ways to do things and throw out the bad.
Some people do.
Well, yes, not every doctor can be trusted, but majority of them.
It's always fun to listen back to like things about medical stuff or medical mysteries and all that, and they're like, yeah, we used to do this, then we realized like 5 years later this is not the right thing to do. I'm just like I'm like, oh great, so what the hell are we doing now that we shouldn't be doing?
Oh, I'm sure there's quite a few, like taking diabetes pills to make yourself skinny.
Well, I mean, like, look at it when we were kids, at least when I was a kid. I don't know about you because you're freaking young. When I was a kid, it was like, drink lots of milk and eat lots of orange juice. And it's like,
oh, yeah, the big milk push.
too much milk causes high cholesterol and shit. And
you can develop lactose intolerance because we're
yeah,
not supposed to
and heart
process
attacks.
dairy.
And heart attacks. And then too much orange juice. You're not supposed to have that much of it. Like you're
There's a reason it
literally
gives heartburn.
there's a reason it comes in a freaking thing like this, and you're supposed to eat it because it gives you other things along with some of the juice. It's
Oh
not
yeah.
just pure sugar, And then I've literally seen people tell me, or not seen, but hear people tell me that Sunny D is better than orange juice for you. I'm like, that's literally orange juice with extra sugar. What are you talking about? Stop, please,
I wouldn't
people.
say it's better for you.
Right? It tastes better, but
Yes, it does. My wife will disagree, but
but yeah, like half the things that I was told as a kid are good for you, they've come out already, and we're like, yeah, that was wrong, and I was like, that wasn't that long ago, people.
well, how long ago was it? Smoking was permitted everywhere. It was actually a medical thing. They would like, here, have a cigarette, calm down.
Yeah.
It was like anxiety medication for how long?
I mean, look at the crap that they used to put on their skins. Shit. Oh my
We gave
goodness.
hardcore drugs to people to help medical stuff.
They
Marriage problems? Here's some ecstasy.
they still do. Like we're in this age right now of I don't want to get too deep into it, but like the fentanyl addictions are really strong right now. At least in the United States. I don't know about other countries, but it's super strong. And yet they're giving these things to people still in the hospitals. I'm like, the second they get it for like the first or second time, they're addicted to it because it's that powerful of a drug. Can we stop giving it to patients, please? Like, makes no sense. Anyways, that's how I felt for Herman. They're just giving Eddie a bunch of shit here.
Yeah. Yeah, Eddie is like pleased with this, and then it's followed up with if you're not better by Monday, you are to miss school. That makes Eddie even happier. He
Yeah.
tells him to come back here instead. We will give you a couple spoonfuls of castor oil. Now, castor oil is another home remedy for sore throat. You can do this one if you want, but it's a laxative, so have fun.
Wait, that was the actual thing that they did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Like I said, this one is not harmful in a way, but it is a laxative, so enjoy.
I mean, if it's making you have to shit yourself, it's not good for your body.
I mean, some people need laxatives.
Anyways, and then we get to the point where
Well, Eddie's like, I love castor oil. The
yeah,
doctor's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
it's like this fucking kid. And then he's like, well, can I see inside of you? The doctor wants to rip Herman
Yeah.
open, bro.
Can I have a peek?
Can I have a peek? And Herman's just
It'll be
like, well,
quick.
just one. And he's like, yeah, just one. I thought they were gonna cut Herman open on the table here.
Yeah, I have written here, called it.
Luckily, it's the 80s and they had an x-ray machine. So it's like, okay, I see that horrible x-ray machine. The x-ray machine would not have been able to do that, what he did there.
Well, and he does
that,
no lead protection. Like, there's no. When did we learn that X-rays were harmful to us? Because there's no protection for anyone in this room, even the doctor.
Well, I would assume that the machine that he's behind is lead protected.
You have to go stand behind a wall for any X-ray that I've ever had done.
I've had hundreds of x-rays done, and I still have 2 kids. I think it's fine.
I'm more worried about Eddie.
Eddie's a werewolf. He'll be fine.
That doesn't make him not susceptible to cancer.
Maybe it does. Maybe the lichen genes cure him of every disease. It's like Wolverine.
Well, we know that's not true. He's got a sore throat.
That's not a disease. That's from eating too many frogs in the pond.
What do you mean? That's what do you think a cold is?
You can have a sore throat and not be sick. from
3 in a month?
eating the raw food, like not raw food, but like something that's gonna burn your throat can give you a sore throat. A bunch of different things can give you sore throats without being actually sick.
All right, I'll concede.
Look that up, Mister.
I will
Google
concede since
doctor.
the kid howls every chance he can.
And he's going through puberty. Come on.
I heard you. Fair points. Fair points. So yeah, this doctor is a menace. Regardless, Herman asks if he wants him to smile, and Dugan says, "Sure, whatever." And he turns the machine on as Herman strikes a pose. Uh-oh. Here's the doctor. Uh-oh. 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 Uh-oh.
And the machine that the doctor's using looks more like the machine, like the light thing that you would put the x-rays on to see into it, not an actual x-ray machine.
Yeah, that too. So now we cut to the lab. This transition is really growing on me. It's making me think of like Halloween, you know, when they zoom in on the basement window.
Yeah.
Grandpa is talking about how Goodberry told Herman he could enter the hearse in the race, but Lily still doesn't like it. We're entering in the middle of a conversation again. Grandpa tells her he already signed the deal to do it. He can't back out now. Besides, this will easily pay $1 million for his new, or they will easily pay $1 million for his new invention. Lily laughs at him, but he's going to ignore her and continue. It's the Slippery X100. He will demonstrate and walks to Leonard, who has a stiff neck. He drops a bit of this oil on Leonard, and his head starts spinning around like The Exorcist. Grandpa goes, "See? I don't understand how this proves that a car can move fast, but sure."
I just thought about that because as I was watching this, I was thinking about the head turning around. And I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be a lot easier for a skeleton's head to turn around because there's no muscle, there's no tissue, there's no skin. Mm-hmm. How does that work in The Exorcist? There's no way the skin can turn completely around. No way. It would have a knot.
Well, you see, it's demon powers. That's why I'm like, why is everyone so scared about this? The child's fine. It's demon powers. She'll be fine.
After that in The Exorcist, that kid should have been dead, whether the demon left her or not.
He clearly used his powers to disconnect and reconnect all of the nerves and everything, and everything's fine.
You're suggesting that demons have that kind of power. Why would any demon
saw him do it?
Why would demons have the power to heal? They don't want to heal. They want to destroy.
Well, they also don't want to lose their vessel.
I mean, the vessel could be fine as long as they're in it, but the second they leave it, it should die.
Yeah, but I assume that a demon... Okay, we are way off topic, but I'm going to continue this anyway. If the body is dead, the possession ends. Why would you willingly destroy your own vessel?
No. I'm saying the body wouldn't die until the demon left it.
Well, I assume the same. Like you shoot him in the heart.
Because why do we die from a broken neck or a snapped neck? Why do you die from that? From the spinal fluid and everything, and your spinal cord. Yeah, and the brain damage. Your jet. That the demon wouldn't need that to still be alive within the body.
The brain is required to make the heart continue to pump.
There's no way after all the shit that demon does to that kid's body that should be still alive. Have you ever seen The Exorcist all the way?
Yes, I've also seen the sequel.
See that giant ass cross that he shoves into her nonstop? That is ridiculous, and she should be dead.
What's the sequel that came out where they're like digging a hole and the Exorcist lady like crawls out of it? because that was the dumbest fucking movie I've ever seen.
Sequel.
Well, it might be a prequel. I don't know. It came after.
I don't know. I mean, there are sequels to it. There are sequels to The Exorcist, but
and prequels. That's
Yeah.
We're look, listeners. If you're interested in this, email us your thoughts. So yeah, he walks over
also
to his.
I looked up the X-ray machine from the 80s. They are the table ones like we have nowadays still too.
Mhm.
Not like that one. That one is more from the oh, what did it say here? It is from like the 70s.
So he's a very outdated doctor.
Yep.
Those are the ones you got to worry about the most.
That's probably the only X-ray machine the production staff could find. They're like, it says it's an X-ray machine.
Yeah, well, the real doctors aren't using it anymore. So
Right. You can buy an X-ray machine for only 20 grand.
only.
That's not bad. I mean, for a whole X-ray machine, come on. I would, you know how much money I would save if my insurance company just gave me an X-ray machine?
So Grandpa, getting back to the show, Grandpa walks over to the eels, grabs peroxide, is what it looks like. Doesn't it? The container is just like a bottle of peroxide with the label peeled off. You don't remember? All right.
No, has a, well, yeah. It was a glass bottle though.
Was it? Okay. It looked like peroxide to me, but
I just
the
pulled the video up.
The eels are demanding food, and he tells them it's too early for lunch, and then he smacks at one, which shoots out at him as response. These eels are assholes.
Yeah.
Lily tells him it's too.
It looks like an old school like cough syrup bottle, like the brown ones that you would have had.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. For our little listeners out there, this is they'll never get to see that anymore. My kid told me I should make this show a little more friendlier for kids. He's like, well, you cussed on the show. I was like, but I highly doubt any kids are listening except for you, dude.
I do swear a lot. Maybe I should cut back.
We have gotten worse and we apologize.
Yeah.
When we first started, we were a little more tamer, and then we got comfortable.
I don't know. Like 6 episodes in, you went to incest jokes. So
I still didn't cuss as much.
Yeah. So Lily's like talking to him about how dangerous racing is, and Grandpa's like, "Oh, I know." And Grandpa demands to know one thing about it that's truly dangerous, and Lily begins listing off several, but he cuts her off. I said one. Grandpa changes tact and begins pleading with her to think about the fame, but mostly the money that they're going to get.
Yeah. Because again, Grandpa's back at his money grubbing scream tactics. He's like $1 million for this
scream tactics.
For some reason, I said scream. I don't know why.
Drunk history. Yeah, Eddie runs down as Lily begins to retort, but Grandpa tells her, "Not now. There's a child."
Yep.
Which is the greatest shield you can get. She begins asking.
I've used that one a lot.
She begins asking Eddie what the doctor said, and Eddie's like, "Hey, it's no big deal. Just a little frog." She told him not to swim in the moat.
I did like this sequence only because the skeleton is behind them. And what's the skeleton's name again? Sorry.
Leonard.
Leonard's behind them, like in the background, and they actually are moving his head, which is kind of cool. Like he's like moving his head back and forth to look at whoever's talking at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like he's engaged in the conversation and stuff.
They do a real good job with the practical stuff in the show. I gotta say that.
Well, not only that, it's just like something that, you wouldn't think that they would do. Like they would just be like, there's a skeleton sitting there. He's an actual like character, so he has to engage in some manner. Not that he ever moves. There also is another skeleton in this lab, and I'm like, is it a dead skeleton or what? It's going because on the opposite side of the lab, there's another skeleton in another chair. I'm like, are we ever going to get introduced?
That's a good question. We're slowly learning more and more of Grandpa's lab as we go, though, because we learned of the eels last week. We got Leonard Stanley, but we're getting set up for a real good joke here that I gotta. It made me laugh a lot. Grandpa's like, "Hey, what's that around your neck?" And Eddie's like, "Oh, it's mustard plaster." And Grandpa's like, "Mustard on neck sounds delicious." He regrets never trying this until now by the look on his face. But Eddie says he only has to wear it until he got home. And so Lily asks what else the doctor said. Eddie gets a brilliant idea and informs her that he is to stay home from school forever. Lily begins saying saying his entire name, Edward Wolfgang Munster. He just says it was worth a shot. He tells them the doctor also said not to worry about his dad. Lily immediately gets concerned because what they shouldn't be worried about. Well, they don't know. Grandpa chimes in asking what they don't know. I hate when people ask me stuff like this. Like, I literally just said it to your face. What do you think? I know things that I don't. If I knew, I would have told you.
Are you sure?
Eddie's response is exactly.
Are you sure?
Eddie gives the.
Are you sure?
Eddie's response is my favorite.
You fucker.
If they don't know, how am I supposed to know? Just brilliant. It's like they're the freaking doctors. All right. I'm a child.
Yeah. The whole interaction with Eddie is kind of crazy. Just because like, it makes sense. Like, he's just like, dude, like, how am I supposed to freaking know? And if he was more of a teenager, because I have a teenager, if he was more of a teenager, he'd be like, the fuck you mean? I don't know. Well, my kid doesn't cuss, but he'd be like, what do you mean? Yeah, my kids know better.
I still find it weird to swear around my family, so I actively try not to. My wife doesn't care. She'll just F and I'm like,
I remember I was telling the story this past weekend when we were talking about swearing and stuff. And I was like, I remember when I was a kid and I cussed, my parents would take Dove bar soap and rub it in our mouths. Make sure it got on your back of your teeth and stuff, so it was there.
That's the worst. They need to get Irish Spring. That one tastes so much better.
The worst. Okay, Grandpa. The worst one.
Guess who had that done a lot?
The worst one was there's no bar soap anywhere. We're driving, on a road trip. So we stop off at a gas station.
Oh no!
Nasty ass gas station soap. The liquid shit, and they rub it on your tongue, so you never forget it. And you don't forget the taste of soap, people. If you've never had soap rubbed in your mouth, maybe you should try it. And then someone's like, "Well, it seems like it didn't work." I was like, "Oh no, it worked for like a day or so." Or sometimes they would do it and I would just get pissed off and be like, well, fuck you. And then I get it again.
Oh,
yeah. But I don't cuss at my parents anymore. And especially as an adult, I only cuss around them, but I don't cuss at them. Like, I hear one of my other brothers who's probably listening who cusses at my mom, who's going to get his ass kicked if he keeps doing it, by the way.
Friend of the show? Friend of me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love ya. All right. Anyways, moving forward.
Yeah, so Lily asks if Herman brought Eddie home, and Eddie's like, no, the doctor called a cab. But he is to inform Grandpa to start turbocharging the hearse just as soon as he is out of the hospital. And Grandpa and Lily look at each other dumbfounded.
Yeah.
So Herman's like, hey, I'm still going to race in this thing. Make the hearse ready to go.
Yep.
So we had a commercial break and we returned to the basement. Lily wants to clarify that Herman is in the hospital right now. Eddie says, don't worry. He has about 10 doctors taking care of him. Grandpa begins to worry that the insurance won't cover that many at once. Eddie says they are offering to do it for free because Herman will make them all famous. Lily begins blaming herself for sending Herman. You should. Eddie tells her not to worry.
Herman should not be allowed in the hospitals. Can we acknowledge this already?
That's still one of my favorite episodes of the original. This penguin saved me. Yeah, the doctor said the operation will be a cinch, and Grandpa and Lily round on him like this. Like, what operation? And he says they found a bed spring in Herman's chest, and Lily says that's ridiculous. If Herman had a spring in his chest, she definitely would have found out about it when they, by now. Eddie says, well, they're taking it out, so does it matter? And Grandpa, who knew about the spring, says they can't do that. It's what holds his arms, legs, and head together. So he literally has a spring with everything else attached to it inside him. What the heck was Frankenstein thinking?
That's if he did it, or if Grandpa did a post surgery afterwards.
Yeah. I guess that explains his love of jumping. I don't remember who says that, but I guess it was Lily. Lily can't believe Herman would agree to this, and Eddie says he doesn't know. Lily wants to know, how could you know this? He's like, oh, I overheard the doctors in the hallway talking on the phone, saying they don't want Herman to, or want Pop to worry.
Yeah.
And Lily begins rushing upstairs to call the hospital when Grandpa stops her. No. She demands to know why. He's like, well, why don't we, if you want to try and talk to your doctors, or wait. He explains that if you try and tell the doctors that your husband is held together by a coiled up wire, they're going to drop a butterfly net on you. And Lily concedes, and there is only one thing they can do. Then they all exit stage left, Pink Panther style, in unison.
With the music playing, doesn't the music play? The theme music?
Some music plays. I don't.
It's like a themed style of the music, I thought.
Yeah. So now we're at the hospital, which, by the way, any doctor that performs anything on a patient without informing them, revoke their license.
It happens a lot. It does.
Revoke that license.
You should watch it, or you should listen to the podcast Medical Killers.
Oh, no, thank you.
They have a very, I think it's like a 2 or 3 parter one about Auschwitz, the guy from Auschwitz.
Oh, the one that WWE used for free promotion over the
yeah.
Idiots.
Anyways, then we go back to the hospital where Herman is walking into this hospital room with the doctor kind of pushing him in. Yeah. And there's another patient in the room.
He's got a roommate.
He instantly goes over to him. He's like, gee, a mummy. Hey, we have one of your relatives at the house.
Yeah. What, you think all mummies are related, Herman? Do you think it's the same mummy from the movie? No, the movie came after this. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
What movie?
Wasn't that the first? Was it? Okay. One of the movies, it ends with an Egyptian pharaoh. They're trying to steal his sarcophagus because his brother
that's
who has
the
it.
second one. That's
Is it
Munster's
Munster's Revenge?
Revenge.
Oh, so okay,
Yeah,
so it could be the same mummy.
yeah,
All right.
potentially. Although those movies are all right. Here we go. Let's jump down this rabbit hole real quick.
Here we go. Another tangent, people.
For the Munsters, it's still a Munsters tangent. The timeline goes like this: you have the '60s show, and then the '60s movie, and then the Munsters Revenge, I believe, was '70, right?
I think that one came out in the
Or
80s.
was it early '80s?
I think early 80s. Because it wasn't long before the show aired.
I double checked here real quick. All right, so it came out in '81.
Yeah.
With the original cast minus Eddie and
Eddie and
Marilyn, of
Marilyn.
course. So you have the original show, and then those two movies are in one universe. Then you have somewhat of the original show, and somewhere in some time they did Grandpa's Experiment, and that split off into an alternate timeline universe where we get the Munsters today.
Yeah.
And then the other movies just take place in their own universes because no one cares.
Yeah. Except the two 90s movies are together.
Are they together?
Yeah.
Different
There's
house.
sequel.
Different house. Way different house.
The two 90s movies they're the same. We talked about it.
Okay. And then you have the 1313 Mockingbird Lane, which is, of course, is a universe, another universe in the timeline.
A much darker time. The darkest timeline, one might say.
Yeah. That's like if like Zack Snyder got a hold of the universes and was trying to make the characters human-like, but dark. And then you have, of course, Rob Zombie's universe, which is like Rob Zombie's kind of seems like an amalgamation of like all
everything.
of the universes. Yeah.
Don't forget Mini Munsters. That's on its own too.
Is it though? Or is it part of the 60s one?
It's on its own.
Fucker. Okay. Anyways, back to the show. Herman is in the hospital room and he's like, this is a mummy. You're a mummy. The doctor like struggles with Herman to get him into his bed.
Yeah, he like pushes him.
He like pushes him in. He's like, you're going to stay here. This is where you're going to stay. And
you're going to be a brand new man. I haven't been the brand new man since I left the doctor's office in Transylvania.
Yeah. He gets him laying down perfectly, his boots in there. I feel Fred Gwynn would not have fit in this bed.
No. Fred was a tall guy though.
Yeah, he
before
was.
the stilts.
So then the doctor ends up leaving the room, and what's Herman gonna do, Tivis? Come on, like he ain't gonna stay in that bed.
He should not have left him alone.
Herman gets up. He starts. Go on.
Well, as Dugan's leaving, he's like, I'm going to have a nurse come in and take your temperature. And Herman's like, oh, no need for that. My temperature is always normal, 7 below.
He then proceeds to get up out of bed once Dugan leaves and just starts messing around. He says something to the mummy patient.
Yeah, he starts talking to him, and then he leans on him, causing the guy to scream.
Yeah. And then he grabs a stethoscope and puts it to his own heart. And for some odd reason, his heart picks up radio frequencies that of different
beating a different song.
Every time that he moves it around, it's a different transmission from a separate radio frequency. And he's dancing around and he's doing it all. And
I forgot. The patient is also listening to a Walkman. Herman picks it up to look at it and then just drops it on the guy's chest. Yeah. It's causing more pain. Herman.
He ends up pulling or hitting the what are those medical
straps?
The straps, strings, whatever, supposedly holding this guy up because I mean he's not a mummy for real. He looks like he was like a motorcycle accident or some shit. He's just bandaged and wrapped up completely.
Yeah. my exact wording here is, well, first Herman bumps into his bed while dancing.
Oh,
The guy screams, and then Herman then tortures the heck out of this guy by playing drums all over the equipment and his like an a-hole. Just
yeah. Like he's doing it on purpose or something.
yeah, like why?
And this scene here too, like before, because everybody then rushes into the room. Lily, Grandpa, and Marilyn rush into the room dressed in doctor's clothing. Well, Grandpa's dressed as a doctor, and the other two are Marilyn's dressed as a nurse, Lily's dressed as a nurse, and Marilyn is dressed as like a popcorn vendor from a baseball game. I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah,
That would confuse me. But before we dive into that real quick, Herman dancing here proves to us all that like Shook's costume, John Shook's costume, is a hell of a lot easier to move in versus Gwen's
what
costume.
Fred was dealing with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A heck of a lot easier because this dude was dancing around. He was crisscrossing his legs, everything.
Oh,
like,
dude,
oh
the costume Fred had in the 80s movie we were just talking about, Munster's Revenge, was such an improvement.
Yeah.
Like he was probably that probably sold him out a lot. Hey, the costume is easier on you. Okay. I'm in.
I mean, plus he also got whatever he wanted.
A ton of
in
money,
a
yeah.
shitload of money for a movie that didn't do much.
If they were going to put him in that same thing, I don't care how much you're paying me. That destroyed my body. I'm no.
Huh.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, Lily, Grandpa, Marilyn walk in disguised as hospital staff. Herman's like, "Why are you here?" And Lily's like, "Visiting hours aren't for hours from now. So this is the only way we could get in. We had to sneak past the staff."
Did the 80s have popcorn people? I don't know what Marilyn is.
I don't know, but I'm really glad she decided to go with it.
I'm like, because she even has the tray that's strapped to her neck with
more
candy
like someone
and
you'd
shit.
expect from a sports event.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh god, what is that? Maybe the 80s had that. I don't remember. I wasn't conscious enough then.
Herman says he doesn't think they can wear that stuff without graduating from medical school first. They hear someone approaching and tell Herman to get into bed. Lily then sends the family to take positions. Lily's going to nurse Herman. Grandpa's going to check the dude next to the bed who is definitely not making out of this alive. And Marilyn is to distract the doctor. They all freeze in place for some reason until the doctor walks in. And Lily shoves a jawbreaker at the poor dude as he screams in pain. Or Marilyn shoves a jawbreaker.
Marilyn does. They tortured the crap out of the mummy patient. I'm calling him the mummy patient because we didn't get a real name for him. He's just
no, we didn't. Lily asked. Lily's like, "Who is this guy? This is not old Dr. Cutter." "No, I'm young Dr. Dugan." He wants to know who that other doctor is. And Lily's like, "Oh, he's from Europe. He specializes in necks." Dugan is excited by this and wants to introduce himself. And Lily's like, no, he doesn't speak English. Dugan's disappointed, but Marilyn shoves some nuts in his face with a look of pure annoyance to be here, honestly, on Marilyn's face. Dugan's like, "No, thank you." Dugan tells Lily to prep Munster for the the OR. And Herman wants to know what OR stands for. And Dugan says, "Don't worry about it." This dude's medical license needs revoked badly. Mm-hmm. He tells them they only have a few minutes until it's time. And Marilyn runs up with a chocolate kiss now. Dugan says, "Later." And are you talking about the chocolate or not? Because now I'm worried about sexual harassment from this guy.
He doesn't seem like he's into her like that.
Because she just comes up and says, "Kiss."
This Marilyn, they haven't really I don't want to say sexualized, but they haven't really I don't know the proper way of saying it without saying just sexualized. They haven't really tried to make her like a sex thing, like a and not like sex, but like
An icon.
an icon, like
Which
where she's has to be the attractive one in the show all the time,
everyone's
nonstop.
falling for.
Right. Not everyone's falling for her, not everyone's doing all that stuff
Which
over top
I
of
gotta
it.
say, personally, I'm glad to get away from that because we've had that for everything.
I'm glad they got away from it with this one, especially because she looks a lot younger, and it's kind of
That's
worrisome.
why
I'm
I
like,
was confused. I'm like, is
is
she
she
in
in high
college?
school?
So yeah,
Yeah.
Herman catches on that he's getting surgery at this point, but Dugan says he's going to love the operating room, and Herman begins freaking the heck out. Lily accidentally says Grandpa, and Dugan gets
Yeah.
very suspicious. He runs over to Grandpa, who is proceeding to further make sure this man doesn't make it out alive by expanding the inflatable cuff used for blood pressure tests to the size of a balloon.
It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Herman begins having a panic attack at the same time, taking Dugan's attention back. Herman says that they can't operate on him without his permission, and he doesn't give it. Dugan says, you already did when you signed that form in my office. And Lily, upset with this, you didn't read it? But Herman's, it was in French. Was it, Herman? Marilyn offers change now or is asking for it. I'm not really sure what the third item is.
I don't know.
But Dugan tells her in a very menacing voice to go away. The doctor gets in bed with Herman, telling him this operation will make them famous. It's all in the house. He's buying. Herman can't let him do that. At least let me pay for half. And Grandpa tells him to shut up. Like, what is wrong with you? You don't want this surgery to begin with. Don't be giving away our money.
Right.
Dugan thought he couldn't, Grandpa couldn't speak English, but Grandpa says, I can't. Just a few simple phrases like, hurry up. Let's get out of here. And what happened to Eddie? And immediately the song begins playing in my head. But besides that, whatever happened to Eddie? So they brought Eddie with them and lost him in the hospital. And Dugan's like, I don't see an Eddie. Neither does Grandpa. And he was supposed to be here 10 minutes ago. Then proceeds
Grandpa,
to torture the dude on the bed for no reason by lifting his legs for no reason.
On purpose. He's just like, woo, 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 like a freaking little kid playing with a toy or something.
What the heck?
I swear
Yes.
Grandpa wanted to kill this guy. He's purposely this is what I wrote down. Grandpa is purposefully hurting the mummy patient. Not sure if it was for distraction or to just have fun torturing people or both.
It's so unclear. It could be either.
It's so crazy. Like he's just like, yep, we're gonna move this arm up, leg up, hands up, arm, leg. It's just like, oh, Grandpa, stop, please.
Luckily, yeah, go ahead.
It's just excellently executed. It's perfect.
It was. This whole scene was just so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
So Eddie walks in wearing a surgical outfit, his normal tie, and a fake nose with sunglasses. Eddie asks if there is a Herman Munster as they need to get going. This is a hospital and time is money. Grandpa says in a hospital, everything is money. And yeah, I can't think of anything truer. Dugan yells at the orderly, telling him how late he is. Eddie gets on the bed to help Herman and calls him Pop. Dugan hears this and wants to know what is going on. Grandpa lifts the guy's legs into the air as a distraction, tells Dugan he's available for consultations, and then just runs out the door with the family, leaving the guy screaming in pain, and Dugan cries in a corner. Oh.
Then we go to the house.
Yeah, back at the house.
This is where Herman is planning on still going to the race.
Yeah. Did you see what he puts on though?
His helmet.
Yeah, from the astronaut episode.
Yeah, his square helmet. I
Yeah.
mean, you make it, you might as well use it a few times, right?
I mean, I love that. Once again, I got to bring up how much tighter the continuity is with the show, even when they don't intend for it to be. Like
Mhm.
that's how you know they're doing a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Herman comes out and puts on his helmet, and Lily is on the phone with somebody. And she's like, "Okay, cool, awesome." I first of all, I think Lily is full of shit here. This one, and then when Lily gets off the phone, she's like, "Yeah, well, you're not. Basically, you're not going to do the race. Why
Yeah.
not? Mr. Goodberry is not giving you the car," is what she says. And
Yeah,
they're
he's
like, "Why
pulling the
not?"
hearse out of the race.
Yeah. Well, Mrs. Goodberry is using it, and she's already painted it pink.
No,
Yeah.
chartreuse, which is a color I sent you a link to. It looks
Okay.
like highlighter baby poop green.
They said pink at first.
No, it's chartreuse with pink polka dots.
Ah,
No,
that's
yellow
right.
polka dots. I'm sorry.
That would look ugly.
Oh yeah. What is she using it for?
She's gonna use it as a float in the parade coming up.
They're gonna have to paint that. Can you imagine that coming to collect your loved one or leading up a procession to the? They're gonna have to paint that again.
Dude, it would look like I just googled the colors with the polka dots. It would look like hold on, I'm gonna put this color up on the screen. Oh, it would look like a freaking a clown mobile. After so long. How can I put this on the screen here? Let's see here. Overlay. Yeah,
Myke.
here you go. This is what it would look like.
But imagine those. Yeah, how could you? Can't even tell. Like
That would
yellow
be
on that type of that shade of green, they look horrendous. And Grandpa can't believe anyone would do that to a hearse.
yeah.
Neither can we, honestly. But do you remember what Grandpa tells Herman?
Hey, he said that you can tell him you'll drive the float.
Yeah.
It's like, why? It's like so that you can drive the float.
He's like, but I don't
And
want to drive parades. Parades are slow.
it's like, not if you don't want to go slow.
Not this one. Oh. So Herman's the plan is to kidnap Mrs. Goodberry and enter the race anyway, is what it sounds like to me.
I've typed in Woodbury for some reason, and I don't know why. I said Goodbury. I said Goodbury, right?
Yeah, you said it correct.
Wow. Spelling. All right.
I'll go ahead with my final thoughts this time. This is a fun episode. I had so much fun with this one, a lot more than I did with the astronaut one, the last one this guy directed.
Mhm.
I think it's the writer because I liked Flyweight Champion of the World too. Like the interactions, especially Dugan. Like, if this guy could become a reoccurring character like Dudley was in the original show, I would be so happy.
That would be scary. He'd be trying to cut Herman up all the time, dude.
I know.
Why
But
would you wish that on Herman?
this family lets mailmen get eaten by their dinosaur. I'm good. I don't need to
But
justify.
Herman is so nice and pure. He doesn't know any better. It's how he was raised. It's his culture.
But yeah, this is fun. I hope eventually we actually meet Dr. Cutter because that's now
Yeah.
2 episodes where they've name dropped him.
You would think Dr. Cutter would be the one that wants to cut into Herman.
Yeah, they must trust him because he knows the family.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what the interaction, because they also trusted Dudley, yet Dudley was scared of them every time he saw them and thought Herman was a dog half the time. And he also called Grandpa Penguin. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
What
did you
do you
liked
think?
it? Like the
Yeah.
episode?
Oh, this
Awesome.
was so good.
I liked this episode, and I felt by the time it was over, I was like, damn, that was a fast episode.
It went by so quick.
It went by so fast. I did not expect it, and I was like, wait, that's it? Like I thought there was going to be more to it, but that was it, and it was a great episode, man. I enjoyed it. I truly did. People missing out if you're not watching these episodes. I'm telling you. I tell you. Yeah. So what do we got going on next week, dude?
Next week we have A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Cereal. And
Hero ain't nothing but a cereal.
I don't know what to make of this title.
Is it Zombo?
I would
With
love
his-
that, but something tells me no. I don't.
I wonder if Zombo shows up in this show.
That's a good. I'm tempted to Google, but I want to be surprised.
Not like Google will tell you much for this show, anyways.
Yeah, that's true. What could this? I don't. I'm curious to watch this one. I'll be.
Yeah.
I've been sitting on this name for quite a while, and I'm like, oh, what could this be?
A hero ain't nothing but a cereal. He blah blah.
Now, aren't
blah,
there
blah, blah.
sandwiches called heroes?
Yeah, Hero Sandwich. Big Hero 6.
So maybe this is a cooking. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
A cooking cereal sandwich. Ooh, I wonder if you could make a sandwich with Frosted Flakes and pancakes. Oh.
How are you not my size?
Damn. Damn. Hey, shut up.
So this was another really fun one. I hope, even with all of our extremely long tangents, we're giving you a long one this week. Everyone had fun along the ride. Let us know what you thought of the episode, what you thought of our show in the comments. Email us. Again, you can send your emails to TheMunsterCast@outlook.com. You can leave us a voicemail on our website at TheMunsterCast.com. And we absolutely love hearing from you guys, whether you want us to put it on the show or not. It's like hearing from you is just, it shows us that you are listening and you know, you're liking the show. And once again, shout out to Frank for supporting us.
Yes, thank you, Frank, again. And also, guys, if you guys want to support us, but not monetarily, just head on over to your podcast services of choice. Leave us reviews. Let people know that you listen to us, and let people know that you like us and stuff. Just so that we can spread the word more and build the fandom and everything. Not just the fandom of the Munsters, but of our stupid antics that we say every Munster Monday on this show here, guys. And I hope that everybody did have a great Easter, as Easter was yesterday for everybody that's listening on Munster Monday as this comes out. Oh geez. And then definitely go over and vote for the Munster movie at rondoaward.com.
2 weeks.
Voting ends April 23rd, so you have to have your votes in, I believe, that day by like midnight or something. Is that
midnight? Yeah, I'm not sure what time zone, they don't specify, so just make sure you get it in before then.
Right. And it's literally a copy and paste into your email and just email it over to the person. It's a really fast, easy thing to do. I just highlighted my votes when I voted for it. I just picked and highlighted everything in Word and then sent it off that way. Other than that, guys, I don't have much else to go on. Keep
an eye out for information on the keychains.
Yes, we will be posting something on social media soon about how to get a awesome keychain from us. Like I got a box of them right here. I'm not gonna put it on camera because it does have my address on it. So I almost did. I was like, nope. But yeah, we got some
Don't give
keychains
yourself more
and
editing.
stuff. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Follow us on social media if you're not already following us on the MUNSTERCAST social media platforms, including following me and Tivis directly on social media. Tivis is everywhere at Tivis014, correct?
Yep.
And I'm at Myke Shrews. That's MYKESHREWS. And I'm usually everywhere too, including YouTube, which is where we also post our other videos for our other podcast that we have going, Operation Babel. So definitely check that one out, as we want to try
We
and
should
start doing that again.
hopefully have a new one of those out
Yeah.
soon, as we have the 4th anniversary of your show to celebrate eventually.
Yeah. It's past it, but yeah. So yeah, definitely check everything out that we're doing, guys, and keep us posted on what you guys are doing, especially if you're doing any Munsters content, Munsters fan videos, Munsters stories, anything like that. We want to hear about these things so that we can share them more.
About it. Especially everyone who has shared their stories on our Facebook group over the last year and a half. That's awesome to see your collections and stuff.
Yes, definitely is. And I think that's all I got to say about that, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will be back next week.
Next week.
I think.
And I did want to point out one thing, guys. Episode 60 is in the books now. We made it to 60. Now another 60. All right, guys. With that said, we will catch you next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.